Hi, I'm Astrologer Penny Dix, and welcome to my in-depth look at this month's new moon in Pisces. So, it's on the 28th of February, and it's at the degree of, 9 degrees and 40 minutes, and it's at 0044 GMT. I think we should get the chart up straight away, just so we can begin to get a feel for what this new moon energy is about, because we've got a lot of Pisces energy, we've got a stellium of planets in Pisces, and this will really underline and emphasize the emotional context and empathy and feeling that we will get around this new moon. So Jerry, let's magically make the chart appear. There we go. How about that? Okay, so as I said, this is an emotional new moon. It's about spiritual growth. I think what it does, it's actually the portal to the eclipse season. So it kind of marks a period of being quite introspective. And it is, of course, about new beginnings. But because, as I've said before, Pisces, being the last sign of the zodiac, is very much about completion. And because we have this stellium of Pisces cosmic bodies at the moment, it really is as if they are coming together to make quite a strong statement about the need to let certain things stay in the past, stay where they belong, and to have a fresh start. I think one of the things this new moon is asking us to do is really reflect on what we've been through, on some of the psychological, emotional journeys that we might have found ourselves undergoing over the last few weeks or even months. I know it's been quite a tough time astrologically, which will have affected all of us on an emotional and a psychological level. I think we will have all experienced changes, big significant changes in friendships, relationships, family dynamics, and it really is asking us to release, to let go of that, as we say, no longer serves us. It's about setting intentions for our highest desires. So I do feel we have an amplified sensitivity of where we are in ourselves now. I think our intuition is going to be enhanced by this new moon. I, for one, will be very pleased about that because, well, actually, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, not sure if what I was going to say was relevant, because I was going to say that my intuition, I feel, has been a bit blocked. And I'm wondering if any of you out there have had the same feelings that I'm going to explain. I felt a bit blocked. I found it difficult, challenging to connect with the higher frequencies. And I suppose why I'm bringing that in is that I think that this new moon, for me, because actually, interestingly, it's conjunct my natal moon in Pisces, so it's enhancing my intuitive abilities. I think this new moon is going to help me kind of break through. And if you have been feeling a little bit blocked, lost, unable to connect on those kind of higher intuitive frequencies, this will be the game changer. This will be the frequency that empowers you, that enables you to break through that kind of, it's like going through these oceans of emotions of water that I'm seeing. And finally, the light starts kind of coming down, and we can sort of dive up towards the light where we know we will be able to breathe again because we will get oxygen from the air. So I think it's a new moon about inner trust, trusting the signs and the symbols we see, and about the guidance that we can get from that. We need to think about this aspect from Jupiter, because as you can see, Jupiter in Gemini, direct, and that's another thing to mention, is that at the moment we're going through a period where every cosmic body is direct. Every I was going to say except Chiron, but no, every cosmic body is direct. So it should be all systems go, because we had Mars direct on the 23rd, 24th, and depending where you were on the planet or are on the planet. And now we have all this energy in Pisces pushing us to sort of leave the past where it belongs and to move towards what can be a much more enlightening and active, proactive future. So Jupiter, our planet of luck, opportunity, expansion, in Gemini. Now remember, Jupiter is a fire planet and rules Sagittarius. So it's actually in what we call its detriment. It's not, because it rules Sagittarius, so it's opposite the sign it rules. But it is a fire planet. It's in a flexible sign, and Sagittarius, of course, is also flexible. And Jupiter is expanding the capacity and our capabilities to use our imagination, helped by that Pisces new moon, helped by the imaginative ideas that can come in, to expand our vision, to see where we can go, how we can start to see the bigger picture of our own lives, of how they can unfold, how we can start moving forwards, how we can start building from here the kind of future timeline that we really want. Now, of course, it is a square. So as a square, it does mean it is challenging. But Jupiter, nevertheless, is about expansion. So what it's going to expand is probably our feelings and our emotions, our situations, our circumstances. It's going to, if we're able to kind of tune into those frequencies of the imagination and be creative with the outcomes for the timeline that we have lying in front of us. And we may have choice. We may have 2 or 3 different timelines that we're just not quite sure which one the cosmos is going to send us down. And I don't think any of this is going to become clear until maybe we will get a glimpse of it in April. Especially when both Saturn and Neptune are kind of conjunct in Aries. So I think that Jupiter is asking us to try and, because it is asking us to try and see that silver lining. And to keep optimistic, even though it may not yet be clear, which I think is the square aspect, it may not yet be clear how we are going to get from A to P, let's say. How are we going to navigate those next few letters, those next few steps? And that's the problem. It's not clear. And here we are on the brink of eclipse season. So we're coming up to a very transformative phase because we're going to have this lunar eclipse on March the 14th, which means we're moving into a period of personal growth and realignment. So I do think this new moon is asking us to be very clear about our intentions, because it's Pisces, it's water. It's swishing and washing around all over the place. The waves are going out, they're coming in, they're going out, they're coming in. And sometimes we just have to let them wash over us and allow us to birth ourselves into a new sort of kind of state of emotional sensitivity and maturity. So what else is going on with this new moon? Because we have other aspects, as you can see, it's quite a busy chart. We have other aspects, but none of them are as kind of exact as that Jupiter square to the new moon. So if we look at the rest of that stellium in Pisces, we've got Mercury conjunct Saturn still. I did an astrobite for that, or I'm doing an astrobite. I'm talking about the future in the past, but because I'm recording this on the 20th of February. But there's an astrobite, or there will be, about Mercury conjunct Saturn. I think I've already done it. No, I haven't. Oh, I'm wittering. So Mercury is still widely conjunct Saturn. Let me get myself back on track. You see, it's Pisces. I allow myself to get lost and to start doubting my agenda of what I've talked about, what I haven't talked about, what I'm going to talk about. Because today, the 20th of February, Thursday, I'm sitting down to record this new moon, and I'm recording 2 or 3 astrobites. And so I've been preparing them all. And of course, my mind is all on and in different transits. And then I look at this chart, and of course, the chart is telling me how things are on the 28th of February, which is over a week away. So you can see how the Pisces energy is even affecting how I deliver the information of this new moon. So it's almost like you see it in action. So if we just look very simply at Mercury conjunct Saturn, really Saturn is imploring us, be circumspect about what you say. Don't leap to conclusions. Don't let your imagination run away with you. Don't get caught into a kind of paranoia, because that won't be helpful. Now, Neptune, as you can see in this chart, is also still conjunct the North Node. So they're not conjunct the new moon in an exact fashion, but because of this huge amount of energy in Pisces, they are all affecting each other. They are all resonating on the same Piscean frequency. So there is also something karmic about whatever it is you decide to initiate with this new moon. There is a sense of destiny that has to be lived. There is something that has been with you for a long time, Remember, Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac. So we're looking at tying up loose ends, at trying to find a resolution to situations that perhaps you revisit, and they never get resolved. But with every single cosmic body direct, we have such a wonderful opportunity to make the next stage of this timeline different, better. Be creative with your outcomes. Don't be too fixed in what you visually want to see or want to manifest on your timeline. Because if we're too fixed in this mutable energy, I think it is going to send us off course as it tries to get us on a course of flexibility and saying, hey, will you let the divine have a hand in this? Because sometimes we forget that. We think it's all just down to us. On one level it is, because we're the divine as much as the divine is itself, if you follow my meaning. It's a kind of existential sort of sense of whom we are and how we connect with each other. But this is a wonderful opportunity to be flexible with the direction the ocean wants to take you. Because there is no doubt I often say, well, lots of people say there is one certainty in life, and that is change. And I do think this new moon, as it is a kind of portal to eclipse season, is really heralding the energy of change, significant change. How's this going to affect us on the world stage? No, I was going to talk about His Holiness the Pope. Let's just have him in the picture, because the energy suggests there could be a new beginning. So let's just leave it there in that form. What else do we have going on? Because we need to look at Mars, because Mars, of course, has just gone direct. But it's still struggling to get back to where it needs to be. So it's swimming like mad now, and it's like it's going direct, but it's still going against the current. So the water is whooshing it this way. The Cancerian nurturing energies are saying, no, go home, it's lovely. Just sit and do nothing. It'll be great, just do nothing. And Mars is saying, I've got to get out there, I've got to move. There is work for me to do, because there are energies going to my home, Aries, and I need to be in a fire sign to be able to help with my energy to those energies that are going to move into my home. So Mars, with this new moon, is trining. It's wide, but it is applying to, it's moving towards. So, or rather the new moon is applying to, it's moving towards. The moon will come up in the next few days or couple of days and will be in an exact trine with Mars. So see how things develop over the next week from the new moon, because I suspect that when the actual moon comes up to be in that trine with Mars, that exact trine with Mars, there will be another significant shift. And I'm just thinking Let me see when that will be, because actually that is quite important. So bear with me. And okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. It's actually, I'm terrible at understanding astrology. It's actually later on the day of the new moon, later on the 28th, round about 3 o'clock on the 28th. That's GMT. I should have prepared that earlier. But as I go through these things, I kind of think, oh, that's a good thing to look at, and that's a good thing to look at, because I like them to be spontaneous. And I know you like that too, because I think when we work it out together, it's actually easier to kind of learn it. And, you know, I'm still learning. You never stop learning astrology. And, you know, it just occurred to me that the moon is going to come up and make an exact trine to Mars. To Mars. And I think be aware of what happens in the afternoon of the 28th. So for you in America and the West Coast, East Coast to West Coast, it's going to be in your morning, early hours of the morning. See what you wake up to. That could be very interesting. So the other energy we've got is that Saturn, of course, too, is trining Mars. So Saturn is saying, it's okay, Mars, you keep going forward, keep going to where you're going, but I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of kind of stability to the direction you're going, because Mars is plowing through the water. He just wants to get there, wants to get into Leo. He's going to have to wait. It's not going to happen yet. And the other aspect we've got is, I think that was it actually. Oh yes, this one, Chiron is squaring Mars. So Chiron in Aries is squaring Mars, and that is going to get stronger until we actually have it as an exact square. Chiron in the sign that Mars rules. Chiron, healing, trauma, our wounds, the healing part of ourselves. Mars is showing the wounds and the trauma of the mother. We can take that as the mother archetype. Mother Earth. The pain. The pain of loss. And Chiron squaring from Aries is saying, yes, it's painful, but we don't grow unless we go through these painful experiences. So I'm going to get Jerry to take the chart down now. Jerry, let's remove the chart. There we go. And it's gone. As you can see from the way I have delivered this video, nothing is really clear. There's moments of clarity. I'm observing myself and thinking how interesting it is that it's almost as if I live, when I'm doing these videos, it's becoming more and more that I'm living in a kind of, I suppose, 4 or 5 dimensional kind of space where I've got these cosmic bodies all around me, and they tune in and they tune out, and they bring me, they attract my attention, so that it's almost like being a conductor of an orchestra. And as the conductor, I'm trying to interpret the music that they are playing. And so maybe that's the key for this new moon. Listen to music. See how it reflects and helps your ability to tune in to the higher frequencies that sometimes elude us and have been eluding me. But I think today, doing this video, I'm finding I'm getting better at reconnecting with those frequencies. Listen, thank you for being so patient with me. And thank you for being here. And as usual, I very much value when you like, when you comment, and I certainly value it when you choose to subscribe to my channel. So, oh, and listen, if you want sessions, I do have a few spaces quite soon. It's just the way it goes. Sometimes I'm full up, sometimes spaces appear. So, you know, if you do want to book an astrology reading with me or a follow-up session, or you've got a birthday coming and you want to do a solar return, and email me and we'll sort out a time. So thank you so much for joining me for this new moon in Pisces on February the 28th. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye for now.